All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome around the world. This is a Marines Disquisition, heard live from Simmerfold, Russia, Kazan, Russia, Sochi, Russia, and the 6 counties of Northern Ireland, all the way to the North Island of Scotland, to the South Island of New Zealand, to the 6th territory outback of Australia. Megan Love, my master webmaster there in Brisbane, is getting things together as we're pulling together and making a website a little more proficient and better. We got some new news for you out there now that we've got the fees paid, and we'll have all of that out tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Thursday around the world. In some places it's Friday, and it is the day that we have Mr. Bob Chapman, the owner, editor of The International Forecaster. That's theinternationalforecaster.com. His phone number is 1-800-375-4188. I give that to you again. That is, we're going to have problems today. I can see that already. That number is 800-375-4188. And I don't know what to tell you, girl. Just bring one in and we'll see. I've got my girl. I have Bobby in one ear, ladies and gentlemen, and Blog Talk Radio in the other ear. Wind Talkers is screaming. We have to figure out which one of our callers is Mr. Bob Chapman. I will give you a quote from Nathaniel Braden. A depression is a large-scale decline in production and trade. There is nothing in the nature of a free market economy to cause such an event. Need I repeat that, ladies and gentlemen? Do you understand what Nathaniel Braden says? A depression is a large-scale decline in production and trade. There is nothing in the nature of a free market economy to cause such an event. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States of America is in a depression. And obviously, we have problems with trade. And obviously, production is definitely being harmed. There is no free market in America anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Bob Chapman. And I hope we have Mr. Bob Chapman and not somebody else. Okay, we don't have Mr. Chapman yet. Okay, we'll see what we can do about getting Mr. Chapman on. We'll see if there he is on that line. We should have him on line 2.
Where is he?
Well, you know, we've got too many phone lines out here. And your number comes up as all one, so we just know it's an international call. Anyhow, welcome to the show, Mr. Chapman.
Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to be here again.
Oh, we're glad to have you. We really are. And before we go too much into the show, I need to let everybody know right now that those of you that were chiming in to listen to the show, those of you in Wind Talkers radio networks around the world, you heard the BBC News announcement that William Jefferson Clinton was raced off to a hospital there in New York with a heart attack. So we don't know any more than what we got on BBC, so you can rest assured if we hear anything, we'll get that word out to you. But quite honestly, the man earned a heart attack, and at his age, he should be healthy, but obviously he's not. So we'll move on. Mr. Chapman, we've got people out there screaming about the euro currency crumbling. What's the latest that you have in your world?
Well, I see what we're going to experience here in the not too far distant future is a rally back in the euro. They, as usual, have overdone it. Today, the euro was trading at 136.83, which is just under 137. It could go as low as 132, but it looks like it's finding its legs in here. And so you've got to remember that, yes, Greece has problems, and so don't the remainder of the pigs, which are Ireland, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. And you know, these nations have had financial problems for a long time, particularly in the last 3 years. But, you know, when Ireland came into the Eurozone, the only reason Ireland had a boom was because of the low interest rates for every member of the 16 within the Eurozone. And so they really came from scratch and got into some terrible trouble. There have been problems hanging over the head of Greece and Portugal and Italy for a long time. And Spain is another recent addition that had problems because of low interest rates and this big building boom. And so I think for the time being we're close to a bottom. It was really unexpected because everybody knew in Europe for the last 3 years that all of them had problems. And I think an issue was made out of it so that the U.S. government and other central banks could drive the dollar up. And the Europeans want the euro down because it makes them easier to sell their goods everywhere. And so there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. And there was no way of predicting a correction in the euro and the overexposure of the problems that Greece and other people in Europe have. So I think the whole thing was rigged.
That's an interesting point. That sounds something familiar to what's going on here in the United States, where just in the month of January, the government came out and said that foreclosures were down, but 315,000 households received their first-time notice of foreclosure last month, and there may be a surge in the future. How do you feel about that in relation to what's happening with the euro?
13 million families are going to lose their homes this year.
13 million?
13 million, that's right. They're all overdoing their payments. And 21.4% of prime loans are underwater.
23%, you said?
21.4.
Oh, 21.4. Okay.
And it's going to get worse. It is not going to get better. I was on a program yesterday in Las Vegas, and they said to me, so what do you think is going to happen here? And I said on a scale of 10, 10 being worst, you're a 4 right now. And that's how far you've got to go. People in Nevada don't even know that the mining industry is the biggest industry in the state. And if it wasn't for the mining of gold and silver and other things, but primarily gold and silver in Nevada, they'd probably be destitute. You can go into casinos there now and fire a cannon through and not hit anybody. The Ritz-Carlton just went under, and there's another one called the M that's going under shortly. It's going to be a vast wasteland in two years.
Understood. We have a caller in already from Arkansas, and if the caller wants to come in, 968 your prefix number. You have a question for Mr. Chapman right off the bat? No. If I recognize the caller, it's Paul. Paul, do you have a question for Mr. Chapman?
Hello?
Okay, I'll put. Yeah, Paul, do you have a question for Mr. Chapman?
No, I must have hit the wrong number. I want to listen and gain information.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, your hand came up, so that's no big deal. We'll just put you back on the side there. No big deal. And we have another gentleman here that's got his hand up to ask a question. Did you accidentally hit a number too? I don't have a recognition number on you, so we'll leave it like that. Mr. Chapman, you still with me?
I certainly am.
Okay. I'm being told that we have some spitting from your telephone. Bobby's been working on it. She figured it out. It was your phone line. Do you know you have bad weather down where you are?